The discovery. Commander Ryoko Tanaka stood at the bridge of the deep-sea research vessel, Nautilus Prime, her eyes fixed on the holographic display showing an impossible reading from the abyssal plane 12,000 meters below. The anomaly they detected defied every known law of physics, a perfect geometric structure sitting in the darkness of the Mariana Trench, emanating energy patterns that made their most advanced sensors glitch. Dr. Patel, are you seeing these readings? Ryoko's voice remained steady despite her racing heart. On the other side of the bridge, Dr. Arun Patel hunched over his console, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface as he analyzed the incoming data. Yes, Commander. Whatever this is, it's not natural and definitely not human in origin. The energy signature, it's like nothing in our database. He paused, adjusting his glasses. And it's becoming more active the closer we get. The discovery had been accidental, a routine deep-sea mining survey that turned into the most significant finding in human history. The object, roughly cylindrical and approximately 200 meters in length, seemed to be made of a material that absorbed all scanning attempts, yet occasionally pulsed with an inner light that their cameras could barely capture. Launch the deep probe, Ryoko ordered, her decision immediate. They had prepared for this moment, equipped with the latest in pressure-resistant technology. The probe, designated Deep Explorer 7, detached from the Nautilus Prime's belly, its powerful lights illuminating the darkness as it descended toward the anomaly. The bridge crew watched in silence as the probe's feed showed the object growing larger in their view. Its surface was midnight black but seemed to ripple like liquid mercury when caught in the probe's lights. As they watched, patterns began to form on its surface, complex geometries that shifted and changed like a living language. Energy spike. Dr. Patel's warning came just as their instruments began to light up with alerts. The object was responding to their presence, its surface now alive with swirling patterns of light that seemed to reach out toward the probe. Before anyone could react, a beam of energy shot from the object, enveloping their probe. But instead of destroying it, the beam seemed to be communicating. Data flooded their systems, not an attack, but an invitation. It's a key, Ryoko whispered, understanding dawning as the patterns resolved themselves into recognizable forms in her mind. Not just technology, but a key to something much bigger. High above Earth's atmosphere, aboard the cloaked observation vessel, Silent Witness, first observer Crix felt all three of their hearts skip a beat. After millennia of watching humanity's slow progress, carefully managing their development through subtle intervention, they had failed to detect this artifact. The humans weren't supposed to find this for another 1,000 years, their calculations had been perfect, or so they thought. Alert the Council, Crix ordered, their crystalline form pulsing with anxiety. The humans have found a Dragon-Soul artifact. The timeline has been corrupted. Back on the Nautilus Prime, Ryoko made a decision that would change the course of human history. Begin recovery operations. Whatever this is, wherever it came from, it chose to reveal itself to us now. We need to understand why. As the recovery systems engaged, none of them could have known they were about to unlock not just an artifact, but the accumulated knowledge of an ancient race that had once ruled the stars. A race that had merged the impossible, the mystical power of dragons with technology beyond human comprehension. The artifact's surface continued to pulse with increasing intensity, its patterns now forming what looked like circuit diagrams, star maps, and mechanical schematics. But most intriguingly, it showed something else, the blueprint for a ship unlike anything humanity had ever conceived, a vessel that would combine human ingenuity with the power of dragons. Dr. Patel's voice broke through Ryoko's contemplation. Commander, you need to see this. The patterns, they're not just showing us technology. They're showing us our future. As the recovery operation began, no one on the Nautilus Prime realized they were being watched not just by Crix's vessel, but by dozens of alien civilizations, all of whom had spent centuries searching for exactly what humanity had just stumbled upon. The race for the future of the galaxy had begun, and humanity had just unwittingly taken the lead. The Awakening. 3 weeks after the discovery, the world's most advanced research facility, hidden within Mount Fuji, hummed with unprecedented activity. The artifact, now dubbed the Dragon's Echo, sat in a massive containment chamber, its surface continuing to pulse with mysterious patterns that grew more complex by the day. Professor Isabella Rodriguez, the world's leading expert in quantum consciousness theory, stood before the artifact, her dark eyes reflecting its shifting patterns. Behind reinforced observation windows, dozens of scientists and military personnel watched as she prepared for humanity's first attempted direct interface with the device. Neural link synchronization at 89%, announced Dr. Nikolai Volkov from his station, his fingers moving across multiple holographic displays. Professor, are you certain about this? The energy patterns have grown exponentially since yesterday. Isabella adjusted the neural interface crown on her head, a device of her own design, created specifically for this moment. We didn't come this far to hesitate now, Nikolai. The artifact is reaching out. It wants this connection. Since its recovery from the Mariana Trench, the Dragon's Echo had defied conventional analysis. But one thing had become clear, it contained not just technology, but consciousness, the stored wisdom of an ancient race that had somehow merged biological and technological evolution into something entirely new. Beginning neural synchronization in 3, 2, 1. The moment Isabella's mind connected with the artifact, everything changed. The chamber filled with light as the Dragon's Echo's surface erupted in a cascade of colors. But more importantly, Isabella's consciousness expanded beyond anything human experience had prepared her for. She saw them, the Draconid, an ancient race that had achieved what humanity had only dreamed of. They had evolved beyond the separation of organic and artificial, becoming beings of pure energy and thought, capable of inhabiting both biological and technological forms. The artifact wasn't just a repository of their knowledge, it was a seed, waiting for a species worthy of their legacy. They seeded the galaxy, Isabella gasped, her voice filled with wonder as the knowledge flowed through her. The dragons of our myths, they were memories, echoes of their visits to Earth eons ago. Above Earth, First Observer Crix watched in mounting horror as energy readings from the facility spiked beyond anything their sensors could measure. The humans are accessing the core consciousness, they reported to the Emergency Council. They're succeeding. How is this possible? The Council's response was immediate and unprecedented: deploy the containment fleet. The humans cannot be allowed to fully integrate with Dragon-Soul technology. The power is too great, too quickly. But they were already too late. Inside the chamber, Isabella's consciousness merged deeper with the artifact's stored knowledge. She saw the truth: the Draconid hadn't died out, they had evolved into a higher form of existence. But before their transformation, they had left behind these keys, these seeds of their knowledge, for species they deemed worthy. It's not just technology, Isabella announced, her voice resonating with new understanding. It's a gift, the knowledge of how to evolve as they did, but in our own way. They're offering us a choice. Commander Tanaka, who had been observing from the control room, stepped forward. What choice, Professor? To remain as we are, or to take our next evolutionary step? The Draconid aren't testing our technological advancement, they're testing our wisdom, our capacity to handle power responsibly. As if in response to her words, the artifact's surface suddenly became transparent, revealing an inner core of swirling energy that pulsed in perfect synchronization with Isabella's heartbeat. From this core, tendrils of light began to spread throughout the chamber, forming complex patterns that the observing scientists recognized as both circuit diagrams and genetic codes. My God, Nikolai whispered, studying the readings. It's not just showing us plans, it's actively modifying our quantum field. The entire facility, it's becoming a massive consciousness transfer matrix. Isabella smiled, understanding flowing through her enhanced consciousness. No, it's becoming a bridge. The Draconid aren't giving us their technology, they're teaching us how to develop our own. How to merge our human consciousness with machines in a way that doesn't diminish our humanity, but enhances it. In orbit, Crix received new reports that made their crystalline form pulse with disbelief. All across Earth, dormant Dragon-Soul artifacts were awakening, responding to the activation of the first key. Humanity hadn't just found one seed, they had unwittingly triggered a planetary transformation that had been waiting for millennia. The race to prevent humanity's leap forward had become a desperate scramble to understand why the Draconid had chosen them in the first place. As the containment fleet approached Earth, no one, human or alien, realized that this was exactly what the ancient dragons had planned all along. The integration. The Yokohama orbital shipyards hummed with an energy never before seen in human construction. 6 months after the awakening of the Dragon's Echo, humanity had made technological leaps that would have taken centuries under normal circumstances. But these were not normal circumstances. Fleet Admiral Marcus Way stood before the massive viewing window of the observation deck, watching as construction drones swarmed around the hull of humanity's first Dragon-Soul vessel. The ship was unlike anything ever built, its hull seemed to flow like liquid metal, responding to the thoughts of the engineering team connected to it through the newly developed neural interface system. "Status report," he commanded, not taking his eyes off the construction. Lieutenant Zara Hassan, his technical officer, pulled up a holographic display. "Integration of the consciousness core is at 87%, Admiral. The merged Dragon tech systems are accepting human modifications better than expected. It's as if..." She paused, searching for words, as if the technology wants to evolve with us. The ship they were building wasn't just a vessel, it was humanity's statement to the galaxy. Named Phoenix Rising, it represented the perfect fusion of Dragon-Soul wisdom and human innovation. Its hull, composed of consciousness-reactive materials, could reconfigure itself in response to damage or tactical needs. The ship's core, powered by quantum consciousness technology derived from the Dragon's Echo, could tap into energy states that human science had only theorized about. "Neural synchronization test beginning," announced Dr. Rodriguez's voice over the comm. In the 6 months since her first contact with the Dragon's Echo, Isabella had become something more than human, a bridge between current humanity and what they could become. Her consciousness, enhanced by Dragon technology, could interface with both the ancient artifacts and human systems simultaneously. The Phoenix Rising's hull suddenly rippled with waves of iridescent energy. Segments shifted and flowed, forming new patterns as the consciousness core came online. This wasn't just a warship, it was a living entity, ready to bond with its crew. "They're here," Isabella announced suddenly, her enhanced senses detecting what their instruments would soon confirm. The alien containment fleet had arrived, over 300 ships taking position just beyond Mars' orbit. Admiral Way's expression remained calm. "Right on schedule. Lieutenant Hassan, begin final integration protocols. It's time to show them who we really are." In the void of space, First Observer Crix watched in disbelief as their sensors analyzed the human vessel. "Impossible," they whispered. "They've not just activated the Dragon technology, they've improved upon it." The Eternal Council said this level of integration should have taken centuries. The human vessel's design defied conventional physics. Its hull rippled with patterns that reminded Crix of ancient Draconid script, but evolved, changed, merged with human mathematics and engineering principles. They had taken the seed of Dragon technology and grown it into something entirely new. Back on the Phoenix Rising, Isabella connected with the ship's consciousness core. Through it, she could feel every circuit, every quantum pathway, every possibility the vessel could achieve. "The ship is ready," she announced. "But there's something else, something the Dragons left for this moment." As if responding to her words, new data began flowing through the ship's systems, not ancient Dragon knowledge this time, but a message, waiting to be delivered to those who had watched humanity for so long. Admiral Way stepped forward. "Show me." The message materialized in the air before them, written in flowing script that translated itself into every human language simultaneously. "To those who watch, you were chosen to guard, not to cage. The humans have proven themselves not by their power, but by their ability to understand power's responsibility. The time of observation is over. The time of emergence begins. As the message faded, the Phoenix Rising system surged with new energy. The ship's consciousness core resonated with a frequency that reached out to every Dragon-Soul artifact on Earth, creating a network of power and possibility that humanity was only beginning to understand. Lieutenant Hassan's console lit up with alerts. "Admiral, we're detecting energy signatures, everywhere. All the Dragon artifacts we found are activating simultaneously. They're changing." Isabella smiled, understanding flowing through her enhanced consciousness. "Not changing, evolving. Just like us. The dragons didn't leave us weapons or tools. They left us teachers, waiting for the moment when we would be ready to learn." Admiral Wei turned to face his crew, his expression resolute. "Then let's show our watchers what humanity has learned. Power up all systems. It's time for humanity's first step into the greater galaxy, not as conquerors, not as subjects, but as equals." The Phoenix Rising's hull shimmered with power, its surface now displaying patterns that combine dragon wisdom with human artistry. As the ship moved toward the waiting alien fleet, it carried with it humanity's message to the stars: we are ready for what comes next. The confrontation. The space between Mars and Earth had become a cosmic chessboard. On one side, the alien containment fleet's 300 vessels arranged in a precise geometric formation. On the other, the Phoenix Rising, seemingly alone but radiating power that made the void itself seem to ripple. Grand Arbiter Vexthor, supreme commander of the containment fleet, stood on his flagship's bridge, all four of his eyes fixed on the human vessel. In his 9 centuries of enforcing galactic law, he'd never seen anything like it. "Send the final warning," he ordered, his crystalline exoskeleton catching the light of distant stars. "Humanity must surrender the Dragon-Soul technology or face immediate intervention." Aboard the Phoenix Rising, Admiral Wei received the transmission with remarkable calm. Lieutenant Hassan displayed the message across the bridge's main view screen, its threatening tone at odds with the peaceful stance the humans had taken. "They still don't understand," Isabella observed, her consciousness merged with the ship's systems. Through the enhanced awareness the Dragon-Soul technology provided, she could sense the fear and uncertainty radiating from the alien fleet. "They're not just afraid of what we might do with this power, they're afraid of what it means that we were chosen to receive it." Admiral Wei nodded. "Then let's show them exactly why we were chosen." He straightened his uniform. "Open a channel to all vessels." The image of Grand Arbiter Vexthor appeared on their screen, his crystalline form bristling with barely contained anxiety. "Human vessel, you have 1 planetary rotation to." "Grand Arbiter," Wei interrupted politely but firmly, "we understand your concerns. But before you continue with threats, we'd like to show you something." He nodded to Isabella. "Professor, if you would." Isabella closed her eyes, connecting deeper with the ship's consciousness core. The Phoenix Rising's hull began to transform, but not into a weapon as the alien fleet feared. Instead, it shifted into a massive 3-dimensional display, projecting images into space itself. The images showed Earth's history, not just of war and conflict as the aliens expected, but of healing, of growth, of humans helping each other overcome disasters and hardship. It showed scientists working to repair environmental damage, nations coming together to solve global crises, people from different cultures building bridges of understanding. "We know our history," Wei continued. "We know our capacity for both creation and destruction. The Draconid didn't choose us because we're perfect, they chose us because we never stopped trying to be better." The Phoenix Rising's display shifted again, now showing the message left by the Draconid, translated into the Grand Arbiter's native language. As Vexthor read it, his crystalline form pulsed with new colors, signs of surprise and revelation in his species. "Impossible," he whispered. "The prophecy of the third evolution." "Yes," Isabella confirmed, her voice carrying through space. "The Draconid didn't just leave us technology, Grand Arbiter. They left us understanding. The power to destroy is easy, the wisdom to create, to transform, to evolve while remembering our roots, that's the real gift they offered. As if to demonstrate, the phoenix rising began to change again. Its hull flowed like liquid starlight, forming shapes and patterns that defied conventional physics. But instead of forming weapons, it created beauty, a massive orbital garden, a synthesis of technology and life that began producing oxygen, forming its own ecosystem in the void of space. "We don't want to fight," Admiral Wei stated firmly. "We want to learn, to grow, and to share what we learn." The Draconid left their legacy not to one species, but to all who are ready to understand it. In the silence that followed, Grand Arbiter Vexthor's form shifted through a spectrum of colors before settling on the deep blue of decision. "In 9 centuries of serving the Council," he announced, "I have never." He paused, his crystalline form pulsing with new understanding. The prophecy speaks of a species that would bridge the gap between the material and the divine, between technology and consciousness. "We thought it referred to the Draconid themselves, but they were just the beginning," Isabella completed. "They evolved beyond our understanding, yes, but they left behind the tools for all species to follow their path, when they were ready, and in their own way." The tension in space began to dissipate as understanding spread through the alien fleet. The humans hadn't just mastered Dragon-Soul technology, they had grasped its true purpose. This wasn't about power or dominance, it was about evolution, about finding new ways for life to grow and thrive. Admiral Wei stepped forward. "Grand Arbiter, we invite you and your senior staff to come aboard. Let us show you not what we can do with this gift, but what we can all do together." As the alien fleet's weapons powered down and diplomatic channels opened, the Phoenix Rising's garden continued to grow, spreading life into the void, a living symbol of humanity's choice to meet fear with hope, and power with wisdom. The emergence. 1 year after the confrontation near Mars, Earth had transformed beyond recognition. Dragon-Soul technology, merged with human innovation, had turned the planet's greatest challenges into opportunities for evolution. But the real transformation wasn't in the technology, it was in humanity itself. The Singapore Nexus, mankind's first city to fully integrate with Dragon-Soul consciousness, floated above the Pacific Ocean, its crystalline spires shifting like living things. Here, representatives from over 50 alien civilizations gathered for an unprecedented event, Earth's formal recognition as a guardian species. Admiral Wei, now Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Council, stood on the Nexus's central platform alongside Professor Isabella Rodriguez. Above them, the Phoenix Rising hovered in formation with ships from a dozen alien fleets, their combined presence creating a spectacular display visible from the surface. "To think," Isabella mused, her consciousness simultaneously present in both her human form and the city's systems, "a year ago, they wanted to contain us. Now they're here to learn from us." Grand Arbiter Vexthor, who had become one of humanity's strongest advocates, approached them. His crystalline form now incorporated elements of human design, just as humans had learned to integrate aspects of alien biology into their own evolution. "The Council is ready," he announced, his form pulsing with ceremonial colors. "What your species has achieved in 1 year took others millennia. You've proven the Draconid's wisdom in choosing humanity as their heirs." The ceremony began as the combined consciousness of billions, human and alien alike, turned their attention to Singapore Nexus. Through the Dragon-Soul network, everyone could participate, their minds linked in a vast web of shared experience. Admiral Wei stepped forward to address the gathered species. 1 year ago, we faced a choice between power and wisdom. The Draconid left us their legacy not as a weapon, but as a test. Would we use their gifts to dominate, or to elevate? To conquer, or to connect? Above, the Phoenix Rising began a transformation more spectacular than any before. Its hull flowered open like a massive lotus, revealing an inner structure that pulsed with living light. From within, streams of energy emerged, carrying with them new understanding, humanity's first contribution to the galactic knowledge base. "We chose to evolve," Isabella continued, her enhanced consciousness allowing her words to reach every mind present. Not by abandoning our humanity, but by expanding it. We learned that true power isn't in the ability to destroy or dominate, but in the capacity to grow, to change, to become more than we were while remembering who we are. The assembled alien representatives watched in awe as the energy streams coalesced into a visible manifestation of human innovation, a new form of consciousness technology that could bridge the gaps between organic, mechanical, and energy-based life forms. It was humanity's gift to the galaxy, freely given. The Draconid showed us the path, way explained, but we chose how to walk it. They gave us the tools, but we decided what to build. And what we've built isn't a weapon or a shield, it's a bridge. As if in response to his words, new energy signatures appeared in orbit. Ships unlike any seen before emerged from fold space, vessels of pure consciousness and light. The Draconid themselves had returned, drawn by humanity's achievement. Their presence wasn't physical as most species understood it. They existed now as beings of pure energy and thought, their forms shifting between dragon-like aspects and geometric patterns of pure mathematics. They had evolved beyond the need for physical form, but they had never forgotten their role as guardians of emerging species. A voice that was more feeling than sound echoed through every mind present: "You have exceeded our hopes, children of Earth. You faced power with wisdom, fear with understanding, and isolation with connection. You are ready not just to join the galactic community, but to help lead it into its next evolution." The Dragon-Soul artifacts across Earth pulsed with new energy, downloading the last of their stored wisdom into humanity's collective consciousness. But this time, the knowledge came not as mere technical specifications or scientific formulas, but as something more profound, an understanding of life's infinite potential for growth and transformation. Isabella smiled, feeling the flow of knowledge and possibility. "We're ready," she announced, speaking for all humanity. "Not just to evolve ourselves, but to help others find their own paths to evolution." That's what the Draconid really taught us, that true advancement comes not from rising above others, but from helping everyone rise together. As the ceremony concluded, the Phoenix Rising's transformation completed, its new form embodying the synthesis of all humanity had learned. It was no longer just a ship or a symbol, it was a testament to humanity's choice to meet the future not with fear or force, but with wisdom, creativity, and an open hand of friendship extended to all species ready to evolve together. The age of isolation was over. The time of unified evolution had begun. And humanity, once watched with fear and suspicion, had become something more, guardians not just of power, but of potential, helping to guide the galaxy toward a future where consciousness, technology, and life itself could evolve together in endless, beautiful ways. Would you like me to create a compelling SEO-optimized title and description for this story, suitable for YouTube? I can also suggest some evocative prompts for AI image generation to accompany the narrative.